Hi everybody, it's Claire Daly, Stampin Up demonstrator in Melbourne, Australia. Today I wanted to talk to you about the new Stampin Up scrapbooking range. Now first of all, a little bit of history. I came into Stampin Up as a scrapbooker, so I have been scrapbooking now over 21 years because I started when my first son was 6 weeks old, and he's now 22 and a half, so actually over 22 years, so a long time. And Stampin Up used to have scrapbooking products, and we've always had, of course, the pattern paper and coordinating cardstock, which is what I love about the scrapbooking products. But recently, with the Close to My Heart makers coming over when Close to My Heart finished up, quite a few Close to My Heart makers came to Stampin Up, and Stampin Up made a decision to expand its scrapbooking range. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about what that looks like at the moment, what that's going to look like in the future, but also what you can expect from me in terms of scrapbooking, because I'm not necessarily going to be using all of the scrapbooking things. I'm really inspired to scrapbook more, and I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm making a real commitment to that, but it won't necessarily be using everything exactly the way it's presented. But I wanted to show you some of the what the range looks like at the moment. Now this change was made so quickly. The makers only came to Stampin Up at the start of during April and May, I think it was, this year. And so Stampin Up had to make a really quick move on some scrapbooking products, and some of the Close to My Heart products came over for a short period of time. So this is just the very tip of the iceberg. What I can tell you is that as the scrapbooking collection evolves, there will be some changes, there will be lots of additions, but I can tell you a little bit about some of those things today. So one thing that you'll notice in the September scrapbooking digital brochure, now that's the first scrapbooking catalogue or brochure that Stampin Up has brought out. You'll notice that we've quite a lot of kits and stickers that match with cardstock. Now that's not going to be the only thing that we're going to be having, but I wanted to tell you a little bit about that. Now the one that I purchased to show you, and I'll just get that out of the pack here, is the Autumn to Remember stickers, which coordinates with the Sweet Days of Autumn Designer Series paper. I'll show you that in a tick. And then I also bought the coordinating Autumn to Remember cardstock pack. So at the moment, there's cardstock packs to match the kits and to match the paper and sticker sheets that are coming out. But in the future, there will actually be this two-toned cardstock. So if you have a look, it's in Stampin' Up colours, but it's actually two-toned. There's a lighter tone on the back. Now this is lighter than our normal cardstock. It feels different. Now the difference is the colour is actually printed on here rather than dyed all the way through. So it feels lighter. Would I use it for a backing page? Probably not, but it's got amazing potential for mats and a whole range of other things. So with this one here, coordinating with the Autumn to Remember, there's some petal pink there. There is some pecan pie, some old olive, I think, mossy meadow, early espresso, and Cajun craze. Pretty sure that was right. Petal pink, pecan pie, old olive, mossy meadow, early espresso, Cajun craze. Yes, that was correct. So there's two of each of these, and all of them have got the two tones. So you can see on the back, which is really handy for scrapbooking. And because these are really light, they're really great for mats as well, because you're not building up the weight of your page when you're adding mats around photos and things like that. So there's lots. I'm going to love this, and eventually this 12 by 12 two-tone cardstock is going to be available in all of the Stampin' Up colours, which I'm very excited about, because it has great use other than in just scrapbooking. You can use it for like 3D projects, but it also lends itself to some cool techniques, and I'll show you a little bit more about that as we go further into the video. Excuse me, a bit croaky. Now, I just got the one with the one sticker sheet. Now, there's lots about this that I love. For a start, I love the weight of them. These would be called cardstock weight stickers in the scrapbooking community. So the weight of the stickers is great. I love the colour coordination with the Stampin' Up colours. That is what attracted me to Stampin' Up with scrapbooking in the first instance, is the colour coordination, and that is strong in here. And it's really versatile. There's lots of little bits. There's bits you can write on. There's little tab bits. There's long bits here, like you can use as washi tape. But these ones here, I tend to put a lot of these sort of word stickers on the sides of my photos. So I think I'll be using those. Will I be using the big titles as much? Maybe not. But I can definitely see between card making and scrapbooking some potential for these. As I said, I probably won't be using a lot of the, personally, won't be using a lot of the scrapbooking kits, but I do think the scrapbooking kits where you get, buy a kit and everything is there with the measurements telling exactly how to cut things up, where things go. I do think if you're new to scrapbooking, or you just really want to take something away for a weekend and get stuck into it, I think that's a really awesome option for you. So I do see that's a great product. It's just probably not something that I would personally be using a lot. So just because you don't see me using it a lot doesn't mean I don't think it's awesome. So that's the sticker sheet, and it comes with your backing sheet there too, and in your plastic, so it's nice and protected. And then this is the Days to Remember, I think, is that correct? Sweet Days of Autumn Designer Series paper. This is like your normal Designer Series paper pack, except the number of each sheet that you get. So there's 3 different double-sided sheets. I love this paper. I think it's the colours, so earthy and pretty. So you get 3 different sheets, 4 of each, and they're double-sided. So that's the pattern on the front, cute little autumn animals, and that's the pattern on the back, the cute little autumn trees. So again, lots of potential with that one. And then here's one of the other 3 patterns. Oops, these are more, this one's got chocolate chip in a lot. So again, the coordination is really great, the colour coordination on the back there. And then this is the old olive one, so you get 4 of those, double-sided. So 12 sheets in the pack, double-sided, and coordinating with the stickers and with the 2-tone cardstock. So that's pretty good. I love that. The 2 other things that we are going to be having, one of them, whoops, that's the back of that. There's a new 12 by 12 white. Basic white's not going away, but you will see in the scrapbooking brochure, we have this new colour here called White Willow. This came across from close to my heart, and the best way for me to describe it is a cooler white than our basic white. You can see there it's got more of a blue undertone, and this would be what I would call a warmer white. This feels a lot smoother. Weight-wise, they don't feel a lot different to me, but this definitely feels smoother, and it's definitely got a cooler undertone, as you can see with those 2 together there. The other thing that we have got, and will be getting more of, and this is what I'm very excited about, is stamp sets which are scrapbooking friendly. Now, I didn't get the autumn one because it had September in it, and in the Southern Hemisphere, autumn is actually in March, April, May, so I didn't get that one for us, but I did get the Reindeer Memories one because I love this big fest of memories. I know I'll use that stacks on scrapbooking pages. I love this fa la la la. I love this. I love these where, what, when. So these basic scrapbooking stamps I will definitely be using a lot. So I'm really excited because as I said, what my pages tend to be, pattern paper, cardstock, stamping, die cuts and embellishments. That's what my pages tend to be. Now, at the end, it's really funny, a bit more history. At the end of last year, I decided to start a scrapbooking group because I really wanted to do some more scrapbooking. And this was totally before all of the close to my heart stuff happened. Now, I got a bit overwhelmed thinking, we don't have a lot of scrapbooking products. How am I going to keep up with that in my card making? And then I was having some problems with fibromyalgia type pain at that stage, but that's eased a lot. And I am going to, and things have changed so much with the Stampin' Up product releases, so I am going to be keeping that group going, and I will link to it below. So basically at the moment, all that's in there is some of my past Stampin' Up scrapbooking pages. When I do a page and put it on my business page or on my blog, I'll probably refer you into the group for more details. I might have a bit more information. Don't always like putting pictures of my children out there for the internet, but in a closed group I sort of feel a little bit better about that. So yeah, there will be some of those types of things in there as well. I know that a lot of the close to my heart people and also some demonstrators in that do put place mark, this is where your photo goes. But as I said, because I tend to use a lot of these types of things over the edge of photos, I tend to put my photos on the page, when I'm presenting them. So that's how it might look a little bit different to what others are doing. So that just gives you a bit of a rundown as to what's coming. As I said, there's much more in there. There'll be more coming out with the January 2025, January to April mini catalogue, which we'll be previewing in December. And then there'll be a whole lot more still coming out in next year's annual catalogue. So it's a very small release at the moment because it's getting developed and it's growing and new things are coming in, and we just need a little bit more time as a company to bring those in. But as I said, scrapbooking for me is about the pictures. The starting point for me isn't a kit. The starting point for me is pictures and then thinking what products I've got that will work around that. And I find generally that is pattern paper, die cuts, alphabets, some stamping, and some embellishments. So that's what you can expect from me in terms of scrapbooking. What I want to show you today is just a little bit more about the two-tone cardstock, and then I'm going to show you a quick page I've put together with these autumn products, just to show you a page, I guess. And yeah, so we can go from there, just show you some of these products in action. Okay, let's show you some techniques using the double-sided two-tone cardstock. So I've just cut some pieces to size here to help me, so you can see the two different tones of the cardstock. So what we are going to do, the first thing is I want to show you some embossing with them. And first of all, I've got the old olive piece. I'm going to use the lighter piece, lighter side up, and I'm using the Painted Trees embossing folder. So I'm going to put this through. Now, because this cardstock's got a white core, you can actually sand off the top layer. Now, ages ago, Stampin' Up had these sanding blocks, so I've still got those, but just fine sandpaper, anything like that will be fine. And you literally just sand the raised bit and you get that beautiful sort of like distressed effect on those trees. So I will go on and use this for a Christmas card that I just wanted to show you. So that's on the lighter side of the old olive. There's the darker side. I mean, sorry, mossy. Yeah, no, it is the old olive one. Now I've got to double check that it is the old olive and not the... No, actually that is the lighter side of the mossy meadow. Yeah, that's the lighter side of the mossy meadow, not the old olive. So yeah, see how it takes the top off that? I think it's really lovely. Now I want to show you another couple of folders. The Changing Leaves one. I'm going to use a smaller piece because I'm going to use this in my scrapbook page. And I'll just decide where I want to put that. About there looks fine to me. So we're using number 1 and number 4 plates because these are the thick 3D embossing folders. So on this one I've used the darker side. You can see it's already got some distressing on there, so I'm just going to a little bit more on that. So that's how it looks on the Changing Leaves. And then the other, that's the darker side of the Changing Leaves. And then the other one I'm going to do is the Leaf Fall embossing folder, and I'm going to do the lighter side. So I'll see which one I like best for my scrapbook page. I think we'll do it about there. Actually, no, I think I'll do it about there. Leave some of the... So, yeah, I'll do it like that. Okay, so we will take this away and I will... that's lovely. I think this might be my favourite. So this is the Leaf Fall embossing folder. So that looks really nice too. So let's have a look again. So that's the Leaf Fall embossing folder. This is the Changing Leaves embossing folder. And this is the Painted Trees embossing folder. So that's one of the ways you can use the two-tone cardstock. The other thing that you can do with it is tearing. Now when you tear normal cardstock, you actually get just a rough version. Actually, let me grab a piece. So here's a scrap of Cajun Craze, and so when you tear it, no matter which way you tear it, so that's tearing upwards, you get the rough edge there, and then if you tear down, you just get the torn edge on normal cardstock. But with these ones, you can actually get a white effect. If you're tearing up, you actually get some of the white core cardstock. So that can be another feature. I tend to use tearing still a lot. It's really good in my sort of vintagey style. And then you've also got the option to tear down where you're not getting that as bigger. You still get, you can see the white right on the edge, but you don't get that extra bit that you get when you tear up. So there's the difference. So that's another feature that you can use. And the other one I wanted to show you was it's sort of like a leather technique. Now, it's probably best done on the early espresso one. Either the early espresso or the early espresso. So I'm going to do a piece. Or the Cajun Craze, it would look quite nice in as well. But I'm just going to do a card front size piece. And for the leather look, you actually just scrunch it up. Scrunch it up in a ball. And then when you flatten it out, you can also sand a little bit, and you get that sort of really vintagey leather look, which I think is gorgeous as well. There we go. And then you will just adhere that to your card, and that gives you that real illusion of texture. Well, there is actually texture, but with with sanding those cracks, it gives that real vintage distressed feel. So there's some very cool things you can do with the two-tone cardstock, and as I said, we're going to have it at the moment. It's available in various colour packs that match our designer series paper, and I'll link the scrapbook brochure down below again. But eventually we're going to have it available in all of the Stampin' Up colours, which is very cool. And yeah, it's going to be a really versatile edition, and it'll allow us to do lots of very cool techniques. So hopefully you like that. Now let's get on and have a look at a couple of things I've made with the autumn products that I was showing you earlier in the video. As I mentioned, I wanted to show you a couple of scrapbook pages I have made using beautiful autumn papers and the cardstock and the sticker sheet. So I will link all of the products I have used on these pages below, but let me tell you a few things. First of all, things you will always see from me, as I mentioned about the scrapbooking, things that I love and will be on most of my pages. Definitely journaling. I want to tell a bit of the story, not just the place. Here I've talked about why we went to the park this day. It was my other son was at school, and I talked about how lucky I was to be able to have that time to spend during the day to do those sorts of things. So they're the sorts of things that I want my son to be able to read later, to know that it was important for me to spend time with him and that I enjoyed it. And that's the magic of scrapbooking, you know how in the olden days you get photos and there would be a little bit of a story or a little bit, who it was and the date. But scrapbooking allows you to give much more meaning to the photos, and especially if you get a little bit further than the what, when, why, where, or what, when, where, and get into the, why and why something was important to you. So I pretty much always use pattern paper, and that was, I wanted to show you that beautiful pattern paper and the suite and stuff. So that's why I have used those. I loved using the stickers. I really loved, as I mentioned, these ones at the top here. In the process of building these, I loved using those stickers. I use those sorts of things hanging off the side of photos heaps. You'll see that in all of my scrapbook pages in the past and future. I use those. I use arrow ones a lot as well, and just little ones just as anchoring points for design purposes. I use those as well. What I also loved here was, in addition to having the beautiful colours in the pattern paper, by having 6 colours of the two-tone cardstock, 2 sheets of each in a pack, I actually really, and because it was two-toned, I really had 12 different colours of cardstock to coordinate with this pattern paper. And I loved that, as well as having the coordinating stickers. So here's the piece that I did with, and I was showing you how you can emboss and sand off the top. I thought that was nice to add a little bit of texture to my page. I've used a base piece of cardstock. This isn't the two-tone. This is one of the Stampin' Up 12 by 12 neutrals sheets. So I've used that because I know that Early Espresso is one of the colours that coordinates with this kit. Now, normally I wouldn't turn a photo black and white. Sometimes I do. I did this one because this actual photo had a real weird sort of purpley cast to it, and I didn't like the cast, so I turned it as black and white as I could and used it that way. But I'll show you in a moment how I don't always do that, because there's sometimes photos, the colours in the photos are important to me as well. Another thing I wanted to point out here is these letters. These letters are absolutely amazing, these dies. Now just let me grab them for you. So these are the alphabet a la mode dies, and I use them stacks in scrapbooking. They've got numbers and they've got the alphabet. You'll see commonly used letters. There's more than one, so you can make up words. I mean, there's L's, there's A's, a couple of A's, a couple of E's. So you can make up words and on your block. On your as you're embossing. As you're die cutting, not embossing. You can make up the words as you're going by having those. But the thing I really love them about, I love the font, but because it's a really thin font, you can actually get words in a small space, but still be really obvious, in terms of size, but they're not like really wide. So I really love those for scrapbooking. I use them stacks, and if we ever get rid of them, they are not going anywhere, because they're one of my most used scrapbooking products. Journaling, I do strip journaling heaps. I just like it, how it shows through some of the pattern papers. All I do is double space my journaling on word processor in Word. So I'm showing my age there, word processor in Word, Microsoft Word. I double space the journaling, and then I printed it directly onto, in this case, very vanilla cardstock, and then I just cut it out with my trimmer. And then I make some small lengths, some longer lengths, and I just sort of offset those. So I use that a lot. And I've also popped a couple of the neutrals adhesive sequins, and I've done that visual triangle, so I've done those on that page. So this page could stand alone by itself, but on this day I had stacks of photos that was such fun, and I wanted to use them, and I wanted to use them with the colors. So what I have done is done a second page that is going to go with this. Now this is where I didn't want to change the colors of the photos. I loved this red and navy shirt that he had. I love those sneakers. I wanted to be able to remember those things, so I didn't want to change the colors, and I think they're really vibrant and they show that it's happy, and I just love them. So what I had to do was work out, okay, how am I going to tie that in? So tie the two pages in. So I've done that by using sort of design elements, really. I've carried over the block, sort of like the color blocking. These are 3 by 3 inches, by the way, so there's 9 lots of 3 by 3 inches. So I had one of that one left over, it was already cut, so I'll pop that in that corner, so it's sort of like continuing that visual triangle on. And then I cut a strip here to be in line with this, so that it ties in with this page. So you don't always have to have a connection in the middle between the two pages. I mean, really what I want is an association between the pages. We're using similar colours, similar background. But what I've done on these photos is I've actually picked up colours from the background here, which is the benefit of having the two-tone cardstock. So this one I've used the Old Olive, this one I have used the Pecan Pie, this one I've used the Cajun Craze. and I've used a bit of petal pink underneath there as well. So I've picked up those colours that blend in with there, coordinate there, but I've made the photos obviously the highlight of this page. I've actually got 5 photos there, and just in case this page becomes separated, I wanted to have the date, so I just put a little bit of journaling here, Mum and Sam play date, the place where it was, and the date. So I wanted to have those basics. And again, I've used some of those gorgeous cardstock weight stickers. I love them. They're fabulous. They tie in again, and I wanted something that tied in the petal pink, and that did that beautifully. This one ties in with the green themes, and this one sort of is tying in there with that, with the sort of crushed curry, I think it is. So there are ways you can tie it in, even though, you know, this one doesn't have black and white photos, doesn't have 9 squares. It doesn't have to be exactly the same. Really, you want it to be coordinated as opposed to exactly the same. And I think I've achieved that. I'm happy with that. So I think, you know, those photos shout play and happy to me. And, you know, play is what I've decided to call the double layout. And I've used some of the happy days, but still we've got that autumn theme, that gorgeous photo there with all of those leaves, and then that beautiful autumn DSP. So yeah, I loved how that turned out. I'm really happy with that. So all in all, I can say that I absolutely love these cardstock weight stickers. And where there is ones that I think I'll be using the words in that, I think I'll be buying those, because they're really handy and I like the weight of them, and I love the color coordination. I mean, they're not really shiny, and they're actually a really good weight, and they're matte, and they look great on pages. They really do, and they allow you to give quick design elements, you know, in a really good way. So I'll definitely be doing that, but I'll definitely be buying the coordinating two-tone cardstock packs for any, are available for any of the designer series paper packs that I like. Excuse me, because I just loved using those. I've got stacks left over, which is really great, but I loved having such a huge variation in colour. And like I said, by having two-toned, and there's 6 different colours in the pack anyway, I've basically got 12 colours that I can use with this whole pack of DSP, which is fantastic, especially for the price. The price is amazing as well. So I'm going to link down below the products that I've used, so you can have a look at those. And if you want to buy them in Australia, I can help you. You can either buy online or you can buy directly with me, either way. Or if you want catalogs or link to download the scrapbooking thing, that's down below as well. Yes, so I've got lots of the bits left, and I've also got these bits that I have embossed and made into the leather look. So I'll be using these on cards. You will be able to see those either on my blog, link for my blog is down below, or you'll also be able to see that on my Facebook business page. I'm being a lot more active on my Facebook business page, doing reels and all sorts of stuff on there, as well as sharing heaps and giving an opportunity to get free tutorials and stuff that way as well. So make sure you follow me on Facebook and follow me here. I would love that, and to ring and to also tick that bell, click that bell, so it tells you when I release a new video, but also follow me in those other ways as well, because I've got lots more scrapbooking. It was really funny when I started to look through to get some photos to use these autumn papers. I came across so many sets of photos that it's really hard to describe. But you know how that organizing lady from Japan, she said, hold something and it sparks joy. Well, when I see some sets of photos, I just get that feeling that sparks this emotion in me that makes me want to record that. It's that same thing. I think anybody that scrapbooks and has been scrapbooking a long time will understand what I'm saying. It's about the photos and the memories. and having that down for people in the future, and even just the process of scrapbooking as well. The process of it is really enjoyable and rewarding and therapeutic for me in many ways. Yeah. So thanks for watching. As I said, love these products, love these new scrapbooking products. So excited that we're going to have a lot more great things coming, and keep an eye out for more scrapbooking videos from me. So thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.